Yo boys, welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be a little bit different. Today we're going to be discussing how to actually get better at trading. Okay, and it's going to be a little yap session. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to discuss what does trading actually consist of. Okay, so trading essentially is split into three main categories. Okay, number one is going to be strategy, number two, psychology, and number three, execution. You can argue that instead of execution, we should be talking about risk. But in my mind, it's like when you finally click the button, you know, that's when the shit goes down. Okay, so execution is, in my opinion, super important. Okay, so this is what trading consists of. Okay, and we're gonna be discussing how to get better in trading. Okay, and why does it actually take so long in order to learn the skill and eventually become profitable, right? There's only one way, or in fact two ways to do this, okay? And it's experience and journaling, okay? You can't cheat the system, okay? In order to become profitable, you need experience. You need years of market experience, okay? You gotta watch the charts every single day. You gotta see your strategy, your edge play out over, and your setup obviously play out over and over and over for multiple hundreds, thousands of times, okay? In order to gain experience, okay? And you have to be journaling, and keep in mind this word data. Data is going to be super important word, right, of the video. Okay, so essentially there are two ways to do this, right? There's two ways how to gain experience. Path A is going to be the live market. Okay, so live market, when you're trading live market, your real emotions are involved, right? Because you're seeing the market move at the real time, okay? So it trains execution under pressure, builds comfort with real/fake money, because obviously when you start trading, you will not trade a prop firm, you will just stay on a demo account and trade with paper money, okay? And it teaches you patience, waiting, and improves your executions and mechanics, okay? And the negatives are you're going to have a very slow feedback loop, meaning you will just watch the chart and you have to be patient, and you will not see your setup every single day, right? You will not see your setup every single hour. So it's just going to take long in order to, you know, gain that experience. Okay. You're going to have, as I said, limited number of reps per day, emotional noise, which is going to distort your learning, because you will see the candles move up and down, you're gonna get FOMO, since you're unexperienced, it's just gonna be tough for you, okay? And it's gonna be hard to isolate whether they're losses or wins. Now, what do I mean by isolate? Okay, so if you are completely, or not even if you're completely brand new, but when you're learning how to trade, when you're 1 year in, okay, and you're gonna win or lose a trade, and you're still in a process where you're still developing your strategy, you don't have a clue whether you should have won the trade or lost. And if you lost, you have no clue why the trade lost or why the trade won, okay? So you're not going to understand whether it's a strategy issue. You will not understand whether it's a risk issue or psychological mistake, okay? So this is the one way to do it, live market, okay? And the number two is obviously going to be the only other way to do it, which is backtesting, okay? Now, what are the positives of backtesting? You're going to have massive number of reps in a short time, right? Clean, emotional free feedback, clear data on what works and what doesn't, builds pattern recognition fast, intuition edge in the market as well known, develops confidence through statistics, accelerates intuition, cheap way to make mistakes because your money is not on the line. And the only negatives are you don't have any actual emotional pressure because there's no pressure on you. You're just clicking the candles, replaying candle by candle, and it doesn't fully train execution psychology, right? Because you can always go back in time and just, you know, click the button, long or short. Like, it doesn't feel like anything, you know what I mean? And yeah, can be misused, over optimizing, curve fitting, meaning you're just making your strategy complex. You want to find out something new or whatever. And we all know that quality always beats quantity. Okay, so you want to make it as simple as possible. So traders are usually misusing it. Okay, and obviously you need some discipline and structure. Okay, so these are the two only ways to do it. Okay, and I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but I'm going to discuss or in fact I am, okay? I'm going to discuss why backtesting is way better than trading the live market, okay? So let's drop a little bit lower and let's talk about what is trading, okay? So trading is supposed to be driven by data, okay? Statistics. Now, how are you going to get that statistics? Either, again, backtesting or journaling. If you're going to watch the live market every single day, it's going to take years. It's going to take years in order to get some experience, okay? You will watch that market every single day, probably not journal, probably not do too much. And the statistics, like, it's just going to take too long. You know what I mean? But when you're backtesting, you essentially can just speedrun the entire process, and you're going to get, again, multiple reps a day, and just, you're going to fill the journal quickly to get the statistics which you need in order to become profitable, okay? So this begs the question, who is and who are the best traders in the world, okay? Just something to think about. And the best traders in the world are The best traders in the world are algorithms, okay? So let's discuss how do algos actually operate compared to human body, okay? So let's first talk about human, okay? So a human trades when conditions feel right, okay? Interprets rules subjectively, hesitates or enters late, changes position size emotionally, right? Reacts to wins and losses, right? You're always gonna react to wins or losses because you're human, right? You feel emotions, okay? Sees losses as personal failures, chases after missing moves, FOMO, you know, overtrades during drawdown. Now, there's nothing wrong about this, right? Everything I said, there's nothing wrong about that, because at the end of the day, you're human, you're supposed to feel emotions. There's no way you can, like, you're gonna remove the emotions, right? You will never remove the feeling of feeling happy when you win a trade or whatever, right? You will never get rid of that feeling, but you just got to tone it down, you know what I mean? Now let's compare it to algorithm though, okay? So a algorithm trades only when conditions are met, right? Uses predefined backtested rules. You see the word right there, backtested rules, okay? Executes instantly and consistently. Risks the same every single time. And follows, this is the most important one out of every single one of them, okay? Algorithm follows probabilities / data, not feelings, not emotions, okay? And treats losses as expected outcomes, because you will never have a 100% win rate. It doesn't hesitate and never chases, and stops trading when rules say stop, okay? So what am I talking about? Essentially, what you want to do is you want to get as close to trading like an algorithm as possible. You never want to trade like human. You want to get as close trading to, you want to get as close to algorithm as possible, right? Now, with this being said, let's more talk about backtesting, okay? So, and why is backtesting, my argument as why backtesting is super important, okay? So the reason why backtesting is so important is because you are practicing being like algorithm, as I said before, okay? And you're collecting data on your strategy over multiple years, right? Because you're backtesting, you're always going through multiple years, chasing, or not chasing, but collecting data on every single month, every single week, or whatever, right? You're just gonna have a full-on spreadsheet, full-on journal on what works the best, when it works the best, okay? And essentially, you're practicing your intuition and edge, which is super important, okay? And at the end, when you're gonna be done backtesting, you're gonna backtest your strategy for, let's say, 5 years, 4 years, right? At the end, you're gonna have 3 numbers, okay? Number 1 is you're gonna have your win rate. Number 2 is gonna be your RR, and number 3 is gonna be the timing, right? So you will know when to enter, you will know how much to risk on a trade, and you know how much approximately you should be winning, right? Or losing, okay? Now, what am I talking about again? Okay, so my argument is this, okay? Since you want to trade like a, bro, I don't know if you heard the chair, but yeah, whatever, bro. Like, if you want to be trading like an algorithm, you want to be basing your trades out of odds, okay? So let's say you backtest, your strategy has a 88% win rate or 85% win rate, doesn't really matter, okay? You're going to know how much to risk and you're going to know when to risk. Essentially, when you're going to be watching the market live, you already backtested, you already know the stats, you already have the odds, you already have the numbers, you will become super confident in executing, okay? And remember what I said earlier, all trading is strategy, psychology, and executions, right? And the only way to practice these three is by backtesting. Again, like it's a loop, you know what I'm saying? So if trading is all data driven, okay, you're gonna have 88% win rate. What does 88% win rate mean? It means you're supposed to be winning a majority of the times, which is gonna result in what? If you're gonna be super confident in the setup you see, okay, you will risk heavy on it, aka you're gonna make shit ton of fucking money, you know, because you're gonna be super confident in the setup you're seeing, and you're gonna know when to execute, okay? And when something doesn't feel right, there comes the intuition, the edge in the market, okay? There comes the intuition, which you practiced over and over. You've seen the setup, you've seen the edge, you've seen your strategy play out so many times over these 4 years which you've backtested, that you're gonna develop a little intuition telling you whether this trade is gonna work out or not. You're gonna have a, like, you know what I mean? Like when you're watching the charts, sometimes you can just tell the market is going somewhere. Like you just have that feeling in your gut telling you that it's gonna reverse or whatever. And that's the intuition, right? Because you've seen it play out over and over and over again, okay? So again, let's talk about this again. So if you gonna win majority of the times, you're gonna be able to size super heavy. Why are you gonna be able to size super heavy? It's not over risking. You know you're gonna win for majority of the times, okay? Because you have the numbers. It's all game of numbers. Again, bro, I can just repeat myself over and over, and this is like why backtesting is so important. And bro, like influencers on the internet, bro, people are saying that backtesting is useless, backtesting is just waste of time, but that's complete bullshit. Backtesting is in fact the most, bro, this is where the job is getting done. You're not working when you're watching the charts, when you're watching the live market. You're not working while you're watching fucking YouTube videos about strategy or whatever. This is not the work. Like you haven't, if you're just watching videos and watching the market live, not journaling, not backtesting, not reflecting, you're not working, you're not doing anything, bro. You're not chasing the profitability. You're just wasting your fucking time, you know what I mean? So you just have to be backtesting, you just have to be journaling, you have to be collecting data, because trading is all data driven. Again, it's a fucking loop, you know what I'm saying? So, and like, if you just don't feel like backtesting, if you genuinely think that backtesting is like waste of time, like, I'm sorry to break it down to you, but you're a lazy piece of shit. You're a lazy piece of shit. And it's not, you don't even think it's useless. You know it's worth it. You know it's the hard part. You know it's necessary, but you're just too fucking lazy to do it. And what does lazy mean? Again, like, you don't want it bad enough. You don't want to be profitable, because if you chose to be profitable, it's a fucking choice, right? Like, if you wanted to become profitable after 6 months of trading or whatever, you could have done it by backtesting, by putting in the work. Again, putting in the work doesn't mean watching videos. It doesn't mean watching the live market, right? It's the boring part. Backtesting, journaling, collecting data, right? Reflecting on the market and just replaying the market or whatever. This is exactly where the job is getting done, you know? So yeah, man, like, this is pretty much it. I guess I'm getting too emotional talking about this because it's pissing me off, bro. It's actually pissing me off that people been lied to. People are saying that backtesting is useless, because it's fucking bullshit. Like, backtesting is the most important part. Now, I've gone a little bit off the rails here because, as I said, I'm getting a little bit emotional over this. But yeah, bro, I think I covered everything, and I hope I just explained to you as why you should just start backtesting right now and pay FX Replay the best subscription, you know, the most expensive one, because yeah, bro, that's completely different. That's something completely different. But whatever, boys. Hope I discussed everything here. I'm not gonna edit this. I just gonna want to make a little raw video talking about how to, you know, how to do this. So yeah, boys. Thank you everybody for watching. If you stayed for 15 minutes, and I will see you on the next one. So peace out.